All right, how's it going, everyone? This is day 10, I believe. We are on path 20, Yamatu. We are beginning in the Nightside of Eden by Kenneth Grant. I hope you're all having a good morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you are, whatever time it is. Let's begin. The 20th tunnel is under the aegis of Yamatu, whose name should be intoned in the key of F. Yamatu, Yamatu, however you want to say it. It should be intoned in the key of F and lower register and with sighing or murmuring undertones. His sigil should be painted in yellowish green on a silver of gray slate. I will go ahead and display the card and the sigil here. Get a better look at the sigil there. There you go. All right. Moving on. His number is 131. It is the number of Samael, a name of Satan, or Set, as guardian of the threshold. It is also the number of Pan and of Baphomet, or Baphomet, the idol adored of the Templars. MKVNIH, presumably Mem, Chaf, Vav, Nun, Yod, He, Mekuni, meaning her foundation or fundament, a symbol of the Keteis, K-T-E-I-S, also adds to 131. Note that 131 plus 535, the number of Keteis, equals 666. Cover your ears, Christians. The number of the beast. If you're a Christian and you're still here, fucking kudos, man. Because you might actually be a Christian. Okay. This is confirmed by the fact that Mako, M-A-K-O, the son of Typhon, also adds up to 131. The sigil of Yamatu, or Yamatu, is a secret cipher of Set. It exhibits the inverted cross, which signifies the downward passage or crossing into Amenta. The astroglyph of the 20th path is Virgo, and its threshold is the Keteis of the Virgin guarded by Samael. Its magical formula is that of virile force reserved. Note, see Liber 777. Is there actually a double note here? Oh no, it's okay. Moving on. The formula is that of virile force reserved, i.e. Kareza, which comports a buildup of sexual energy for magical purposes, but without final release. Look into Tantra. This is a perfectly legitimate magical, I'll spell it, K-A-R-E-Z-Z-A. This is a perfectly legitimate magical formula, and one which may be used in connection with the formula described in connection with the previous kala. Remember all the sex magic talk from the last chapter. We discussed the 8th, 9th, and 11th degree OTO. So, it can also be used in conjunction, or sorry, let me start over here. Generated by the formula, Jeebers, Creepers. Okay, let's actually read it now. This is a perfectly legitimate magical formula, and one which may be used in connection with the formula described in the connection in the previous kala. It is also a formula of the Black Brothers, and was used by a curious cult having its headquarters at Harvard, New England, in the 18th century. Andrew Rathovius writes of this cult, and there's a note here. Andrew Rathovius is an article entitled, Andrew Rathovius is an article entitled Lovecraft and the New England Megaliths, published in The Dark Brotherhood, Arkham House, Wisconsin, 1966. Moving on, Andrew Rithovius writes of this cult, led by Shadrach Ireland, who had come from Charlestown, or Charleston, with the woman he called his soulmate, Abigail Lugim, Lougeem. It was a reaction to the aridities of the prevailing Calvinism, but with overtones suggesting that it drew on some survivals of the witch cult that had gone underground after Salem, a century previously. Calling itself the Brethren of the New Light, it advocated celibacy, mutual confession of sins, and a withdrawal from the people of the world, who were soon to be done away with anyway, by the powers from outside. The elect, however, i.e. members of the cult, would then attain bodily immortality in the flesh, naturally. Those who died before needed to have their bodies preserved on platforms of stone from whence they would arise, living and breathing when the hour struck. Note here, platforms of stone. The platforms of stone, the italics are by Rithovius, may have been suggested by the name of Set, one of its meanings being a standing stone. The stone seat is a symbol of Isis, originally Typhon, the mother of Mako, i.e. Set. This accords with the gematria equivalent of 131, Makuni, Mkvnih, meaning her seat or foundation. Okay. All right. Immortality in the flesh is one of the aims of the Black Brothers. The idea arose not only from the natural urge to protect the ego from the impact of death, with its consequent disruption of conscious identity, but also from a misinterpretation of the doctrine of the death posture exemplified by the cult of the mummy in ancient Chem. In this connection, Michael Bertiow, writing on astral machines, refers to magicians who endeavored to achieve immortality on the astral plane. He observes, instruments like this, note, Bertiow is referring to the machine which he calls the astral condenser. Instruments like this insulate against the changes of time, and it has been known that such instruments have been used by occultists to preserve themselves or hold themselves on the astral plane against the onward tide of evolution. The Theosophist Leadbeater deplored this practice as a form of black magic. It is, in fact, a typical example of the magic favored by occultists who habitually haunt the tunnel of Yamatu. Remember the lantern's light. Narcissus, the follower ascribed to this tunnel, yields a key to the nature of the formula of sexual magic associated with it, which, in its dark aspect, reflects Kareza as a sterile spending of magical force. Note, i.e. via the 8th degree plus. This is confirmed by the letter Yod being regarded as sacred to Yamatu. Yod means a hand, and to this tunnel, Kabbalists ascribe the order of Clifot, or Clifoth, known as the Tzafiriron, meaning the Scratchers. Almost similar to the Tzalaliron. Whatever. Tzafirion. Tzafirion. There we go. The Scratchers. The light, or sacred seed. Remember that Yod is like a closed hand, where Chaf is like an open hand, a palm. Yod is like a closed hand, like a seed. Okay, moving on. The light, or secret seed, concealed within the body suggests the idea of invisibility, and this is the magical seedi attributed to this ray, as also is parthenogenesis. Note. Cf. The Virgo Virgin symbolism. The work of the Black Brothers thus belongs naturally in the tunnel of Yamatu, where the seed, spilt in a sterile act, renders the body bereft of light and therefore invisible. It was the object of the New Light sect to retain the light within, thus defying death and achieving immortality in the flesh. The deity ascribed to this ray is Hor-Par-Krat, the Egyptian original of the Greek god of silence and strength. Note, latent sexuality is also what it means. Nothing ever just means anything. Remember that. Everything has multiple meanings, especially when it comes to symbolism. So, the god of silence and strength, Harpocrates or Harpocrates. He was frequently depicted on the monuments as a child squatting upon a lotus with a thumb or forefinger, both emblems of the phallus, pressed against its lips, and the mudra of not uttering a word. I'm not going to get into psychological circuits and stuff right now. The relevant verse in Liber 231 repeats the above ideas. Also, the priest veiled himself, lest his glory be profaned, lest his word be lost in the multitude. Note, italics by present author. The tarot trump attributed to this ray is that of the Hermit, who carries the lamp and staff, symbolic of the hidden light, or the light expressed in darkness. He is the magus of the voice of power. But, in his clephothic reflex, he becomes the utterer of the word of death, imprisoned in the corpse, and not permitted to realize its identity with space, cosmic consciousness. To be trapped in this tunnel is to suffer the death in life of petrification. The typical disease is paralysis, and the inclusion of all anaphrodisiacs among the list of vegetable drugs ascribed to this ray again suggests the antivital nature of its sterilizing influences. All right. Moving into the Shadow Tarot by Linda Falorio. I'll show the card here again. All right, take a screenshot if you'd like. Yamatu, the shadow of the hermit, or the shadow of the lantern. There's another way to think about that. The shamanic journey into Amenta, undertaken for personal and planetary healing / regeneration, brings profound awareness of mind, spirit, matter, wholeness. She loves her hyphens. Okay, the passage into the tunnel of Yamatu is shown in cross section. Above is a circle of standing stones, symbolic of the god Set, upon whose sigil they rest, and which serves as threshold into the forbidden realm below. From ancient times, stones such as these, the Kalanish stones of outer Hebrides, Hebrides, have been raised to serve as gates through which the great old ones of the outer void might enter human consciousness. The central altar has been engraved with the names of them from outside human space and time. It is the stone seat, the throne of Isis, where the magician takes the god form of Hor-Par-Krat, making the sign of silence, ready to enter the dark realm of Amenta via the manual magic of the 8th degree. Above the sigil of Yamatu drift pentagons of light, reminders of the quintile traditions of the old ones. The stones are astral machines. Love it. Condensers of the light, generators of electromagnetic energy, and capable, through proper alignment and activation when looped into a circuit with biological systems, to open the wormhole into Universe B. In proper alignment, the stones of Yamatu can be used to raise storms or to eliminate them as the disruptive, poisonous orgone energy is sucked into the earth, neutralized and cleansed. Typhon, great and terrible mother, great lady of the place below, guardian and avenger of the ravaged earth, love it, love the poetry, seethes below in Hades, bird-headed Medusa with petrifying gaze, she who paralyzes with the eyes of death those who dare to seek the mysteries of death and life and death, yet fail to take the warrior's path of courage. Unable to face the knowledge of the dark-starred chaos at the heart of matter, lying just beyond the brink of consciousness, unfortunate souls become locked into the slow, I believe that's a typo. Unable to face the knowledge of the dark-starred chaos at the heart of matter, lying just beyond the brink of consciousness, unfortunate souls can become locked into the slow, inexorable motion of unconscious matter in Ereshkigal's dark realm. Yamatu meditation. When we channel the power of Yamatu, we gain awareness of earth magics and Gaia ecology, understanding of earth meridians and ley lines, and the principles of feng shui. We gain the ability to activate ancient power sites, to cleanse black water lines and psychic atmospheres, and work with healing crystals. In such intimate awareness of mind-body wholeness resides the power of self-healing and regeneration through turning inward to tap the profound healing power of meditation. Also, here are the planet Chiron crystals, and also here are the planet Chiron crystals in general, and especially crystal fluorite. Apparently, the editor ran out of commas for that sentence. The need for work with Yamatu is suggested when we encounter disregard for the earth and earth's energies, coupled with the belief that the earth is inert matter to be disposed of at our whim. That nature can and must be tamed. When we lack awareness of our bodies, we lack real connection with the environment and may believe that man is supreme in the universe, that human consciousness and rationale thought are paramount, that technology can solve our problems, and that somehow everything can be fixed for our convenience. We may believe that there are no inimical powers in the universe, and that we are alone in possessing the gift of life. In Yamatu, we encounter an ability to seek the spark of life in matter, which breeds materialist philosophies and the fear of hell and dying, which drives technologies designed to preserve the body from death without regard to the human spirit. In Yamatu resides the power of movement between the worlds. In Yamatu, we find the ability to face the lurker on the threshold and undertake the healing shamanic journey. In Yamatu, we undertake the dream quest to the forbidden underworld on behalf of ourselves and others, to return to what has been lost, to bring back what is needed of ancient archetypal consciousness, and to bravely apprehend foreshadowings of far-flung future selves. In Yamatu, we learn to find and dance the power animal. All right, last but not least, someone's upset. Pathworking. Focus on the sigil while chanting or vibrating the name of the guardian until you have made a connection with the energy of the tunnel. Visualize that darkness flows into the room through the image, and clouds of dark smoke fill the ritual space and envelop around you. They carry the smell of the earth and the fumes from the underworld, signifying the opening of the gate to the other side. When you get to this point, extinguish the candles, close your eyes, and with the image building up in your inner mind, send a message to the guardian to guide you through the experience. Visualize that for a moment everything fades away and the whole world disappears. Then the darkness around you crystallizes into a scenery. You are in a dark landscape, standing on the black earth, within a circle of stones rising from the ground. As you touch the ground, you realize that it is not the soil, but the body of the outer dragon. The earth beneath your feet is the dragon's skin. The stones rising from the ground are the dragon's bones. The moisture in the air carries the salty taste of the dragon's tears, and the wind is the dragon's breath. Build this landscape in your mind, and make it as realistic as you can. When you look around, you can also see 3 hooded figures standing in the circle with you. They are chanting words in a language you cannot identify, but after a while you pick up on the chant and you join them. As you all vibrate the words, you can feel the whole landscape around you awakening to life. Suddenly, the 3 hooded figures come together and transform into a 3-headed dragon, the guardian of the tunnel. Open yourself to whatever may come now, and let the guardian take you on the journey through this dark realm. Embrace the experience, and when it is over, travel back to your body. Close the working, and return to your normal consciousness. All right, that's it for this one. Is there anything else? No, I think that's it. Thanks for stopping by. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them below. And have a good rest of the day, good rest of the week. Take care, blessings, and yeah, be well.